All right, good day. Welcome to episode 251 of Candid Conversations. We are here with Joanne Robinson of Flow Seniors. How you doing today?
I'm great. How are you?
I am well as well. I'm just trying to make sure I get this outro lined up properly because the intro didn't play. That's why I'm so close to the camera. I'm not in
Okay.
studio. Well, we're in the study right now, you know.
Okay. Okay.
Yes, yes. But this summer has been fast and furious. I can't believe I say by the time Caravana hits here, summer's done. Like wrap it up. You know what I mean? Let's call it what it is. But some people are still holding on to the summer. What
Yes.
plans do you have to close out this summer?
Well, we're going to be doing our annual honoring event, which is honoring three community seniors who have contributed to the Ottawa community, not necessarily recognized by their community members. They may be recognized by government officials, but not their community members. And we find
Okay.
that when we do these types of events, people are so much more appreciative because they know their community appreciates their work.
Definitely. Um, Giving people their roses where they're due. You have been an integral part of the community, especially where it comes to providing services for the elders in the community. So, I mean, that's commendable because, I mean, nowadays it feels like people take better care of their technology than they do their lineage.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like, I know people don't come with warranties and stuff, but like, if we started treating people like we treated our vehicles, let's say, well, some people, because some people let that rust out, but like, you know what I mean? If we put a little effort into the people that put effort into us, we might get a little further as a community. I'm gonna say
Oh,
that
I totally agree.
100%. And like one of the things I find in the hip hop community is that, well, now it's starting to change, and I hope it's partial because of my conversations with it. But the elders in the community aren't always as considered or appreciated as they are in other genres of music. I mean, like, oof, I don't even have to name names. You talk about rock legends, you talk about country legends, you talk about legends in any other genre, and they get their adulation. But as soon as you get to a certain age in hip hop, it's like, no, you're done. And I don't understand that because it's not until you get to a certain age in life that you even know what you're talking about.
That is quite true, and some people don't even get there. But
You know, you know what I mean?
maybe
It's
has
like,
its perks.
yeah. Um, I don't know if you've ever seen them on Instagram. There's these two English gentlemen, Pete and Bass, I think their names are. And they're like, they gotta be in their late 70s, maybe even their 80s. And they're dropping some bars. They're speaking some knowledge that's just like, hold on a second. Where did you get this information from? And why didn't I know it already? Kind of thing. And it's just, like, and you think like being up, like, if you just look at them, you're not going to stereotype them for who they present themselves as. But when they present themselves, it's just like, okay, okay, I see what you're talking about. I need to adjust my word flow because yours sounds a little more potent, or you know what I mean?
Yeah,
It's just one of those things. So I say that to say we can learn from the elders in our community if we take the time to speak to them.
that's right.
So,
Totally.
this award show, where is it being held?
So it's held at the Mosaic Convention Center here in Ottawa. That's 2465 Saint Laurent Boulevard, which is at the corner of Conroy and Saint Laurent. We had it there last year. It worked out successfully, so we're having it there again this year.
Okay,
Yeah.
all right, awesome. The time?
So we start at 3 p.m. We go till
Okay.
1, but we don't normally go till 1, but we start at 3 p.m. This
Okay.
gives anyone that doesn't like to drive at night a better chance of coming out and having a full day, full evening of enjoyment.
Hmm. Okay. All right. That sounds good.
It's going to be
Wow.
wonderful. You should come.
Oh man. What's the date again?
August 23rd.
August 23rd.
It's actually a
Um,
spring day.
would you believe I'm scheduled to perform at Weta Fest on the 23rd?
Really? Oh, dear.
Yes. Yes. That's like the exact opposite direction.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, like, I've been in conversations to come out to Ottawa, definitely. And if I can't do that before the year's out, then I'm definitely going to do that when the spring season starts next year.
Okay.
So
Okay.
we can definitely work on something for that
Yes.
time. But yeah, I was sent the information by our mutual friend, and
Okay.
I filled out the form, and then another mutual friend actually contacted me, and I thought it was about a different business because I'm one of the friends of the festival, sponsor of the Afro Caribbean Festival, which just happened this past weekend. And I thought it was about that, but no, he called me about Weta Fest and said that they had availability for me, which is great. It just so happened to fall on the same weekend of friends of ours' wedding. So that from the Thursday to the Sunday, I'm going to be bouncing between events that are possibly going to take more out of me than I have to give, but I'm going to do it like I have it to give it.
Well, you know what? If the mind says you can do it, you can get it done. Although on Monday morning, you're probably going to have to just chill out somewhere.
Monday morning, if I have it my way, actually Monday morning, I didn't let my, oh geez, I gotta let that be known. On Monday morning, I should be waking up in an Airbnb, which is covered by the event.
Ah, okay.
So,
Okay.
so yeah, there's that. There's that. I'm thinking, oh geez, I gotta scramble and find this money for this, and I still have to, put some resources together to make sure I'm comfortable. But as long as I have somewhere I can post up. Like I slept in the car in Walmart parking lots on the way to New Brunswick. I will thug it out. You know what I
Really?
mean? I will. But if I can sleep comfortably, I'll do much better.
I think so.
Oh man. Episode 251 again, the conversation continues. After this break, we are here with the wonderful and jubilant Joanne Robinson of Flow Seniors. Look up Flow Seniors, FLO apostrophe S Seniors. Get familiar with the program and what they can do in your community. This show is brought to you in part by Jacks of all trades. If you can name it, she can tame it. Servicing Niagara and beyond, as well as Expose the North. We go there and beyond because we can. All right, there we go. 8:33. I gotta remember these times, and there's so much that goes into this that I. This is part of the reason why I started on the internet because there was no regulation.
Ah,
There's no regulation. I didn't have to taper my vocabulary or preserve my conduct or conduct myself accordingly. There were no rules. There was not a lot of there's a lot of sensitivity right now on the internet. And my problem is if you're sensitive about something, leave it alone.
yep.
You know what I mean? My dad told me at a young age, if you can't on me, left me with me there. And for those of you who don't understand the dialect, if you're bothered by my presence, be present in my absence.
I love the translation.
Right? But as a philosopher still, I'm not even gonna lie, like he's done some things that are just like I caught myself talking like him the other day, you know what I mean? And it's what it is. There's one thing that he did growing up that I never understood until I was grown. So I'm a noisy man. I'm a noisy individual because I was raised around like 8 to 15 people in the house at any given time. So if I
Okay.
wasn't heard, no one knew what was going on with me.
Right.
So sometimes I'm there hooting and hollering and making all kinds of noise, and all I hear from down the hall is "David," and then like a good 30 seconds of silence, and I'm waiting for him to say something, and all he'd say is "Oh, whoa." And I couldn't understand, and it happened to me a couple of times in the course of my life, and I couldn't understand what he was going for until one point. At one point, I was just like, "Oh, he wants me to shut up. I get it now." And like, I tried that on my daughter a couple of times, and like I think it works too because she might be upstairs making noise, and I'll call her, like I'm calling her to come to me or come downstairs.
Right.
But the way I say it, she just goes quiet. So I'm just like, oh, is this a generational thing? Did I did I absorb the power of the parental voice? Is this have I been bestowed with this authority that is so like interesting to have but delicate to use? Man, I'm telling you, it's just one of those things. So I can only imagine, like I've even spoken to my wife about it. Like I went to Willow Park. She likes willow trees. So, I said, like, I asked her when we get our place, are we gonna transplant a willow tree or plant one and watch it grow with our grandchildren or something like that? You know what I
Hmm.
mean? Those are the kinds of, because I want to see my great grandchildren, but I'm not in a rush. I'm not going to rush the youth to bring them, but
Okay.
I want to be alive long enough because I saw my great grandmother. I didn't see my great grandfather, but I was, you know what I mean? I was blessed with the ability to see like 3, 4 generations of my family in one house at the same time.
Nice.
So that's the kind of thing that I want to be a part of.
Hmm. Hmm.
So, that's just my little thing right there.
Sorry. But
Yeah, no.
that's a great thing to see the generations and that they can all be in the same place and be learning from one another.
Yes, yes, definitely, definitely. So here's a question. As I'm going to say, how do I, in the adolescence of my adulthood, because I'm 42, I'm still, that's still
Young.
youngish, you know what I mean? Like old enough to know better, but still too young to do better, some might say.
Okay.
No, I'm joking. I'm trying. I'm doing better than I was, say, when I was like in my 20s, because it's not as self-serving. You know what I mean? But
Right.
how do I approach my elders in the community for conversation?
So I think it would depend on the setting that you're in. If you're
Okay.
in your home environment and it's the elders are your family members, that's a different approach to
Yeah.
if you're at an event itself and you're approaching elders. And I find that a lot of the young people these days do not address their elders in the proper manner. And I think quite often it's because they don't know any better. And a lot of the elders correct them very quickly because
Okay.
you do not call an elder by their first name without something in front of it. Miss,
No.
Mr., mom, dad, whatever have you, don't call them by their first name, right? And
Hmm.
a lot of the young people are used to now just calling everybody by their first name, and a lot of the elders will correct that.
Hmm.
And once
And
you start
as
off properly, you can then ask anything you want.
Yep. You know what? I remember a scenario just like, well, not necessarily the addressing of the elder, but the greeting of the household. I remember a friend of mine, and this was back in grade 3. I already told you, I'm like, what I mean, I'm grown. And I heard the phone ring, and I'm down the hall waiting for a call. I heard the phone ring, and I heard my dad. Hello? Good evening. May I speak to David, please? Good evening. May I speak to David, please? And I'm like, why is he asking to talk to me? I'm down the hall. What's going on here? Good evening. May I please speak to David? Och den andra brasan säger någon, tja, David, kom till the phone. And I, what's going on here? So I got the phone and it's one of my friends and I'm like, they're like, what's wrong with your dad? I'm like, my dad expects you to greet him respectfully when you call his house.
That's right.
You know what I mean? Like, you can't just, I don't pay the bill. You can't just call and ask for me. You gotta talk to the man properly, kind of thing. And to this day, that friend remembers that lesson and instilled that lesson in their children.
Yep,
So,
yep.
so yeah, you're right. It depends on the scenario. And, if I see, like, if I'm like, okay, there was this one time I was walking and looking for somewhere and I saw this older couple sitting on a bench and they're watching us look for what we're looking for. And I could tell they knew that it wasn't there because they started a little conversation amongst themselves, like, and they were native to that community.
Right.
So I'm like, okay, all right, cool. I decided to go talk to them. I'm like, we're looking for this area. They're like, oh no, that's not here. That's that way. I'm just like, so we just had a conversation with them for a few minutes, trying to get the lay of the land and try to understand what else was around before we got lost again. Now, I find it easy to talk to anybody. I talk for a career. But like, there are some people who need to have conversations that don't know how to start them.
That's right.
It's interesting. It's interesting. Just like our next segment's going to be when you come back and join us on episode 251 of Candid Conversations. Now, if you're wondering how comes you've seen episode 251 and haven't seen the 250 before that, you can check out youtube.com/ at EXPOSETHENORTH 8741. That's youtube.com/ expose the north 8741 or at expose the north 8741 for other episodes of Candid Conversations and the Terrell Effect. We will be right back. Okay. All
Would you
right.
like to come now?
I'm about to. I'm about to. And then I put the time in the wrong spot for the last one. Thanks for keeping me honest, Joanne. I appreciate it. Oh man. So what is the most fun thing you've managed to do this summer?
Actually, yesterday I went to Kingston with a busload of seniors. We
Okay.
went to, I can't remember the name of the park, but it was a very beautiful park. There was about 52 of us on the bus. We had
Wow.
lunch. Then we started playing some of those old time egg and spoon and sack race and all sorts of stuff. It was great.
Oh, nice. That's awesome. We're, oh man. Oh, there's so much going on this summer, and I was
There
talking
is.
about how when Caravana gets here, it's closing down, but it's really not because we have a wedding to do. I'm DJing, she's catering.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, we have we're going to the Wu-Tang concert in Toronto on September 8th. Then we also have a breast cancer awareness event happening on August 29th that we're helping with. I'm DJing, she's running some games and possibly catering. Um, then on September 11th, we have the next small stage. No, sorry. August 28th is the next small stage show. September 11th is the next one after that. And then on September 12th, we're doing a show on a rooftop patio of the Niagara Artist Center.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. And, it's gonna be fun. I actually gotta mention getting that on the. Oh no, 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 can't do that. Thinking on the fly. Sorry, real life just spilled into the conversation. Um, well, this is real life in conversation. I like that. I might have to
That's
change the slogan for Candid Conversations. I don't think I I don't think I had a slogan for Candid Conversations. Now that I
Do you
think
need
about it,
one?
because well, when it's exposed the North, it's we go there and beyond. Culture Shock is
Mhm.
we are the product. Culture Shock magazine is the zine for those unseen in the scene. Culture Shock radio is in the mix. Come get your fix. But and the Village Global Network is we make the network. But I've never had one for the Terrell Effect or
Okay.
Candid Conversations. But I like the real life in talk.
Yep.
Real
And that
life
would
in talk.
work.
Yeah.
That would fit in.
Hmm. Yeah. Okay. So now I got to find one for the Terrell Effect. It's got to be something more than it's effective. So, oh man, oh man. So this award show, who will you be honoring and what is their achievement if you would like to share that with us?
So we'll be honoring Renford Thomas, Sr., Sheila Pitt, and Pastor Carmen Hamilton. Each
Okay.
one of those individuals are very different in their approach to community. Um, well, Pastor Carmen Hamilton is a pastor, but she
Hmm.
does things outside of being a pastor. She'll roll up her sleeves and be helping out with events, helping seniors, helping youth achieve their goals. Sheila Pitt
Okay.
is one of the first people that brought about Martin Luther King Day here in Ottawa.
All right.
She does different events to that effect because now it's been taken over by somebody else. But
Yeah.
the retirement apartment that she lives in, she still hosts Martin Luther King celebration.
All
Renford
right.
Thomas, community member, um, he's also a union activist, but within his Jamaican community, he helps out seniors, he helps out youth. I remember when he used to teach driving school and helping talking to the persons that he was teaching to drive, whether you were a younger person or an older person. And now, even though retired, he's still very active in the community.
Awesome. 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 Great people, great examples of how to be in the community and preserve your integrity. All right. That's great to hear. And again, like, and even outside of this, it would be nice to see people just honor their elders,
That's
you
right.
know, in some way. Not like, and it's not to say, and you know, you got to talk about both sides of the coin. Not everybody's great, but you can still see the great in everybody,
That's true. That's true.
right?
And it
And
sometimes takes a little looking, but yeah.
yeah, sometimes. Oh, trust me, I'm dealing with a situation where I'm like, I'm looking and I'm trying to find, and every time, everything I find, I'm really looking in the other direction of, but like, because I'm a man of my word, I have to honor my word.
Yes.
And I gave my word before I saw some of these red flags. I'm just looking, I'm
We
just
got to
like,
figure out how to work around it.
yes, yes, 100%. That's exactly where I'm at. So, you know, being who I am and doing what I do, I just gotta roll with the punches and God will see me through. Yes.
That's right.
Yes. Oh man. So we are here, episode 251 of Candid Conversations with Joanne Robinson. Where can they find your work? Like, what is your website, your social media? Let the people know.
So we are at flowseniors.com. I won't even say the www part because if you put in Flow Seniors into any search engine, we will come up. We
Awesome.
are we're getting into Instagram, not so much. We have a YouTube video online, and the website is now even better than it used to be. So you can find a
All
lot more
right.
information about us there.
Okay. All right. Flowseniors.com. Type it in your search. Get
And
familiar
it's
with
all
what's
one
going
word.
on.
So
All
it's
one word.
all one word.
All right. So this show will replay on Culture Shock Radio. That's at Zeno.fm /CultureShock Radio. Zeno.fm /Culture Shock Radio. You're in the mix. Come get your fix. Listen to the replay next Wednesday at 8 a.m. And you can catch the replay of the Terrell Effect at 8 a.m. on Saturdays on the same station. Check us out. All right. Now, we're going to have a fun little game when we get back from the next commercial break. It's something that honestly hasn't missed since its conception. And I really appreciate it because it was conceived on the fly. It was something that I thought about doing for several years before. So, as we get ready for this next commercial break, brought to you in part by Flow Seniors, um, we're gonna, come back and have a bit of have a different spin on this conversation, we'll say.
Okay.
All right. Gotta get this timestamp. If they're gonna be editing the video to put in the commercials, I gotta at least make it easy for them. I appreciate y'all who putting in these commercials because online I look like I'm just talking about things that aren't happening. But when they hit open stream TV on the Roku app, they should have the commercial break inserted properly so
Uh-huh.
that we could, continue monetizing the situation. That being said, this fun game that I like to play is called Flip the Script. And when we flip the script, we give the guest the opportunity to be the host and make any statements they have or ask any questions they have. And I've never seen this done on any interview before this. So if any other interviewer is doing this, you're welcome.
You're an innovator. All right.
Yes, a pioneer of sorts. I'm even wearing such a
Yeah.
hat.
Pioneers are good.
Yep, yep, yep. So, Joanne, you have the floor as we flip the script.
Excellent. So, my question for you would be
Yep.
in candid conversation,
Hmm.
one, how long has candid conversation been about? Two, when you look to who you're interviewing, for example, Flow Seniors, are you thinking about elders and youth, or are you just thinking about an interview in general?
Okay. For one, to answer the question of the longevity of the show, we've been going for this is about our fifth year,
Okay.
and yeah, and the show was conceived in like we brought the show together because I have another show called The Terrell Effect, which is more music based. And a friend of mine, an artist that I work with, private name, private number, suggested that I try an interview based podcast just to get to know the people for who they were outside of music. So it evolved into something that would allow me to interview people like yourself over the course of
Hmm.
time because I am interested in other philosophies and philanthropies. So this conversation is a little well, these conversations are a little selfish, admittedly, because I'm looking to learn more and
Okay.
I'm trying to talk to people who know more about the things I feel I need to learn. So,
Excellent. Excellent.
so, you know what I mean? It's giving in the sense that other people get to watch it and benefit from the knowledge that I am trying to procure.
So, what knowledge have you learned so far?
Oh man, I've learned patience. I've learned that people who there are people who want to be heard and need to be heard. Um, I've definitely learned that everyone has a place in the world. It's kind of like a puzzle because
Hmm.
no two conversations have been the same. even when I've had the same person on twice. So, there's a lot of originality. There's a lot of developments. There's so many ways to, I guess there's so many ways to cook in a sense that I'm just learning the different roles in the kitchen, if I could use a metaphor. And I really appreciate the time people take out of their day to have these conversations because, like, there's some people who can't show up to their phone, and, I don't want to put too much light on that. But then there's
Right.
people who show up to their phone early, you know what I mean? Or show up to their laptop early and they're ready to work together. Like, people are willing to work. That's another thing I've learned. People are willing to work when you give them incentive or when you have a collectively beneficial idea, a mutually beneficial idea. People are willing to work on that. So some of the stereotypes that exist in some of these industries or with some of these cultures are just that, stereotypes, right?
Right.
I just read something about, no, I watched a reel about why um it said that watermelon is popular with black people. And it's because it was one of the most affordable crops that could have been grown and distributed. And then when it started making money for those communities, the stereotypes and propaganda against it flushed them out of wanting to do it because of the embarrassment of being watermelon lovers, which is just ridiculous because, personally speaking, if it tastes good and I like it, I'm gonna eat it. I don't care what your opinion is. Right? But I was just I was just raised like that. You know what I mean? Like, my daughter said ew to something that I was eating one time. I'm like, no, you don't do that. You're not eating it. So you shouldn't make fun of it. And she didn't quite get it until I said ew to something she was eating. And it wasn't really gross. It looked pretty good, but I just wanted to make a point.
Lessons learned. Yep.
Lesson learned. So, but yeah, it's just one of those things. It's just one of those things. Like, I I feel like there's so much we could do when we take the time. Like, but I also think it's a two-way street. Like, I should listen as well as I expect to be heard.
I like that.
And when I'm in this position as the junior, I have to hear my senior and then respond. You know what I mean?
Right. Yes.
Not,
Yes.
not a lot of people know that. Man, I don't even want to talk about some of the things I've seen because it'll air people out that don't need to be spoken about. This mug was brought to me by a friend named JP Tabios.
I like it.
It is, honestly, this thing right here. Look at it. It's the size of my head, and I don't have the smallest head.
It's
I'll
huge.
admit. I'll admit it. That's like a good 2 liters of liquid, at least a liter of liquid right there. And I'll drink my tea out of that. I'll drink, like, when I'm on a podcast or something, I'll have that on standby because I don't have to get up every 30 seconds to fill it.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah. Yep. Life, this life, and ever since I heard the song "Life is What You Make It," I believe that, and I said I was gonna make the best life I possibly could.
As we should all try to, but not everybody does. But that's a good philosophy.
It is, and yeah, the effort made usually results in, like, I know not everything can be perfect all the time. Not everything is perfect all the time. But
Mhm.
gratitude and grief can't exist in the same plane of thought. So if I spend more time being grateful for what I have instead of grieving what I don't, I'm
Mhm.
ultimately going to end up going in the direction that I need to go in to get to where I need to be.
True.
But not everybody can, I don't know. Um, Sometimes it sounds too good to be true, but then you look at what you've done and it's like, wait, I did it.
That's right.
Hmm. All right. We got another segment after this. Joanne Robinson of Flow Seniors. Check out flowseniors.com and make sure you see what they're doing in the community. Donate, contribute, volunteer, apply yourself to this endeavor in some way so that we can continue building our communities with our seniors, keeping them around longer so we can preserve the knowledge and the capacity that they have.
And
Um,
legacies are important.
Legacies are very important indeed. I have this one story when we get back from commercial break, which is brought to you in part by the Village Global Network. We make the network, servicing listeners in over 193 countries worldwide. All right. So there's this one device, well, there's several devices now probably, that can no longer be manufactured because the person who knew how to make a component within it has passed away.
Oh no.
Yeah, yeah, that kind of stuff alarms me. I think that's why I'm so quick to teach someone something that I know.
So you could pass on that information because if
Yeah.
not, wow.
Hmm. It's alarming because like when did we stop wanting to learn?
Because we
I
always assume the person's going to be there, and people aren't there. No one's there forever. You just don't know in this life what's going to happen the next day. Never mind.
hmm Yeah, that's true. So, I mean, like God forbid any morbid issues present themselves from this conversation, but what would you pass along to the next generation as like information they need to know?
I think right now what I would pass along is patience and perseverance. We're going through a lot of trying times, and quite often people are saying, "You can't, you can't, you can't. It won't work. It won't work. It won't work." If you really want to do something, you can, and it will work. But you have to be patient. You have to persevere in what it is you want to achieve.
I like that. I like that. Patience and perseverance. Okay. I'm thinking, I'm thinking there is a lot that can be done with that. Just those two. Because if you have the time and patience is more occupying your time while you wait for the opportunity to present itself kind of thing. It's not just sitting there and, you know, thinking on that one thought. Yes, you can think on that thought, but you have to act on other thoughts that will lead you in the direction of the main thought you're focused on. Like I
That's
had a
right. And
20-year
it's
plan.
also like you had a 20
Go
year
ahead.
plan? Is that what you said?
I had from 2007, I wrote a 20-year plan. But what were you saying?
That's very interesting. No, what I was going to
Yeah.
say is part of patience is that you have to be sometimes listening to the naysayers and just letting it go. You know, quite often when people are telling you things that you can't do, you tend to get down on yourself and figure that you cannot achieve. But if it's in your DNA and you know that you want to have it done, it can be done. An
Hmm.
example would be your 20-year plan. How's that going?
It is going remarkably, actually. Um, I've been able to put myself in a position where I can not only host shows out of my house, but I have venues that are willing to work with me um, to host shows that were actually excited to see me when I passed by, coincidentally, you know what I mean? And now even the shows that I host have another stage of elegance to it because my wife caters them.
And
So yeah, and that's just the performance side of things. I had things on my list like having a vehicle, having a trusted companion. And like I
mhm.
said, I have a wife, so that's work too. I have 2 studios worth of equipment, which is something I wanted to put on there. Clothing, I have the ability to make different designs for a clothing line. The
Wow,
magazine, it doesn't have the name that it was gonna have, but it's still a magazine, and it's in its 6th year, Culture Shock magazine. Um, so yeah, a lot of the things that I I put on that list, I worked towards and accomplished, and some of them I achieved without even realizing it.
that's good.
You know, yeah. So that's why I always recommend people like when they're bothered by something, write that down because when they write down what bothers them, they get it off of their mind, and then when they get that off of their mind, they can focus on what's benefiting them.
That's right. That is
So
very true.
yeah. So that's just what it is, and it's not always as simple as that, but it can be.
That's right.
You know, someone told me depression's thinking too far into the past, anxiety's thinking too far into the future. Enjoy now.
Oh, I like that.
It makes sense.
It
It,
does.
it really does. Like, you know what I mean? One thing that I've come up to say is that life happens, but you got to keep living.
Yep.
So,
So be it. Yep.
yep, yep, yep. That is what it is. We are getting close to the end of the show, though. Is there anyone you wanted to say anything to, or shout out, or thank for their support?
Well, I would really like to shout out Antoinette. She's
Yes.
very supportive, and thanks to her, I'm here with you once again. Highlighting Flow Seniors and having some great conversation.
Yes,
Auntie, you
indeed.
big man. So, Antoinette, thanks to you.
All right, definitely. Thanks to Antoinette for having lining up this conversation. And like
Yes,
I said, anytime you got an event happening or anything like that, please feel free to reach out directly or by proxy, and we will, what I mean, continue to promote this events or these events and highlight the good that you're doing in the community because there's a lot of people that would like. Again, Method Man said one time he's doing a lot for his son's football team and no one highlights that. I'd like to call attention to that. I don't know if his son's still playing football because this was a few years ago now, but if he would have spit up in the air and it landed on him, they talk about that on TMZ. And that's a problem that I have with mainstream media, if you will. They'll highlight the negative, but they won't showcase the positive. I look to do
that's
better
right.
than that. So let's make this work.
Excellent. Well, thank you so much for having me once again.
Thank you for being here. On behalf of Joanne Robinson of Flow Seniors, this is the block saying check out sharetheshock.ca where we have the latest from the soon to be greatest playing that'll update your playlist and your status. Also, Zeno.fm, Zeno.fm /CULCHASHOCKRADIO. Zeno.fm /Culture Shock Radio. You're in the mix. Come get your fix. This has all been monitored by Online Radio Box. Don't at me with your copyright strikes. Peace.